Good morning, everyone. This is Ida of Created to Create. Welcome back to my channel. If you are not 18 years or older, this video content is not intended for you. I have a project share, my crafty friends. I have been working on a few things, and I needed to create an ornament, and I usually try to create something different than what I have previously done. I'm not too much on repeating something over and over again. I kind of get bored. So my hat's off to you for those of you that can do it, because I can't do it. So I needed to create some ornaments, and this is what I came up with. I do like to play with resin and clay, and I had picked up these little frames. Here, let me grab a package of brand new ones. That way you guys can see what they look like. I picked them up a couple years ago. Hold on 1 second. Let me grab a pack. I picked them up a few years ago. Not a couple. It's been more than a couple. At we used to have an AC Moore, but they are by Stitch Studio, and they're mini decorative frames. And you get two in a package, and they are plastic. And they come in different shapes. So I have ovals, I have rounds, and I think I have the rounds in two different sizes. And I have a square frames. And my AC Moore went out of business. So when they were going out of business, these were like really cheap. So I bought everything they had on the shelf. And believe it or not, I have never used them. So I felt like, pulling out some of the things that I do have in my craft room that I'm just buying and hoarding and putting away, and haven't actually done anything with them. So I decided to go ahead and pull these out. And that's what I want to try and start doing from now on, and just going through some of my stuff. So this is what I came up with. I have been playing with this the angel image from Tattered Lace. This is a free download. On my previous video where I shared the embellishments and the card that I made, I did leave the link for this artwork. And when you open it up in Tattered Lace, it gives you a bunch of downloads. So you just got to look for her image. And as soon as you click on it, it starts downloading into your computer. So anyway, this is the image that I have been working with. And I like for my things to match. So I created this ornament, and all I had to do was just print, downsize them. I did make them smaller because they come 4 to a page, and they're pretty good size, enough for a standard card. But because I wanted to put them in this smaller frame, I had to figure out a way to shrink them and make them smaller. So I love, love, love the way these came out. And so this frame does have an acetate sheet for the front, and then for the back it has a white disc that it's like hard plastic, and it just snaps in and out. Now the acetate piece does have a protective film on it, little plastic, because when I first put my images in here, they look a little cloudy. It wasn't as crystal clear, and I thought, I think it should be, clearer. So I just took a pen and just started just poking at it, and sure enough, it had a protective thin plastic on it. And but I took it off, and now the image, you can see it real clear. Now the clips that I'm using here, I picked up at Hobby Lobby last year. And remember I said that I've been picking things up and then I just put them away and not using them, and I want to start using them. Well, I picked up a couple of these packages, and I only used one clip. I made a embellishment kind of book for one of my friends, a Christmas one, and I added a dangle to it, and I use this because I like the clip part. So this is made that you just clip it onto the branch of your tree or wherever you're going to attach it to. And I'll share with you what they look like. This is what they look like, and they're by Sure Grip. They're called Sure Grip Clip. and they're by Evergreen, and these are at Hobby Lobby, and they come 12 to a pack, and I don't think they're very expensive, but like I said, last year I only used one, so this year I used a couple more, and I'm hoping to use more. I still got to create other stuff. So that's where this clip came from. So when the recipient gets it, all she has to do is clip it onto her tree. And since these aren't very big, I decided to make a couple. I think I'm going to do one more, and maybe I will record it. That way you guys can see how I do it, because it's so simple, guys. I could explain it to you and you would understand it. Really, you would. But a lot of times we like to see how something is done. So I'm going to try and do that for you. But I'm going to give you as much explanation in this video that if you understand what I'm saying or can kind of get the gist of it, you will, and you want to create one, you'll know how to do it. And you don't have to wait on me, because you never know when I'm going to do anything. And so what I did to the frame, I didn't have to do much. Although I did, with my Dremel, I pierced a little hole at the bottom because I wanted to hang a snowflake on it. So I hung a snowflake and a key and a little pearl at the bottom. And the snowflake comes from Hobby Lobby, and it is not a bead. It was actually table scatter, and it came in a bag full of snowflakes and just different things. And with my Dremel again, I drilled a hole in it so I could turn it into a charm. So that's what I did there. I haven't completed the back because I'm not sure what I want to do to the back. Now, because it's an angel, I wanted some type of wing mold to either to use clay, because this is air dry clay that's up here. The frames don't come with anything on them. They just come like this. So you have to drill the hole at the bottom, and you have to add your, I mean, you could glue some type of metal piece that you could bend easily, but I wanted angel wings. So I found these feather looking things on a mold that I had, and I think they are feathers, and I thought, well, that will work. And I will link whatever I can in the description, guys. So I used that mold, and it did have a right and a left, so I was able to get one for each side. A lot of times you'll get a mold and it has certain things in it, but it's only one-sided, and you can't use it, you know, on the right and the left because it only has one side. Now, the clay that I use is this one right here, and I do get it on Amazon, and sometimes you can find it at, I believe, Joann's. I'm not sure about Hobby Lobby. I don't think I've ever found it at Hobby Lobby, but I think I did find it at Joann's, but it is available on Amazon, and I will link it. I don't know about you guys, but for me, if I need to go buy glue or clay or anything like that, it's at least a 45-minute drive there and then a 45-minute drive back. So it takes me a couple hours to go there and back to, and the fuel being, you know, what it is now, it's just cheaper for me to get it on Amazon and it's delivered to my door. So, you know, to save a couple bucks, I just go ahead and get it because, like I said, it's cheaper for me to do that than to put gas in my car, go spend a couple hours on the road, and then come back. So this is the one that I use, and I will link it. The chain that I used, I just, when I'm at Hobby Lobby or wherever I am, or even like a thrift store or a Goodwill, sometimes they sell jewelry, like fashion jewelry. And if I like the chain on it and it's only $1 or something like that, I go ahead and buy it, and then I take it apart. So, you know, I don't have to go and buy a brand new chain at the craft store for $3 or $4 when I can get a chain that I can upcycle. So anyway, that's what I did here, guys. And I'm going to share the back with you. I haven't done anything to it. It's got little tabs in there. Here's that white cover, and it just snaps on. If you don't want that to come out, you're either going to have to add glue or you're going to have to add something to the back. If you're playing around with clay, they do have some border. I think I just had one. They do have some type of border border molds, like something like this, like a beaded mold, and then I could just go ahead and put it in here and then take it out, and I would add a beaded circle to that. But that's not what I'm going to do to mine, because I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do to mine. I'm not even sure if I'm going to add some type of Christmas sentiment, or for it to just say Merry Christmas or whatever on the back, because I'm going to share with you what I would like to do. I kind of wanted to add an iridescent snowflake to the back. The problem is that these are from the Dollar Tree and they're very flimsy, or these might even be Walmart. They're beautiful, but they're very flimsy, and I'm afraid that if I add this to the ornament and when it's being shipped, it's going to break, and then when the recipient gets it, it's going to be broken. But I want to share with you what it would look like with that iridescent, with an iridescent snowflake on the back. Look how beautiful that looks, guys. So I'm going to try and look for a more firm, either white snowflake and adhere it to the back, or an iridescent one that's, a thicker plastic, something a little bit more sturdy. But I like them with or without, but I think I prefer with. The only thing is that if I decided to, like, if the recipient didn't want to use this as a Christmas, all they had to do was just change the snowflake at the bottom, and you could hang these anywhere in your craft room all year round. So that's the thing with that. So I created two, and I am going to create another one with you guys, but not today, because the problem with this clay, I haven't opened this one, so this one's really, really soft. But the one, when I was rearranging my craft room, I kind of misplaced my clay. So I had one that was open, even though I had it wrapped and I had it in a plastic bag, and then I had it in a container, it still dries out. And I don't have one of those pasta machines, those little ones that they use for clay, so I can't condition it, and it kind of looks like it wants to crumble. So if you get a fresh bag of clay, I recommend that you use as much of it as possible, or use it in a timely manner that it doesn't dry up on you, because it was a little bit more difficult to work with when I was trying to do something that was a little more intricate. And I was trying to do these right here. And this is a Prima mold. Look at this cherub up here. Isn't he beautiful? And I haven't even painted him yet, but there's a line going through him right there, on the right underneath the mouth, on the chin, because of the clay being so dry, and I couldn't condition it enough with my hands. But normally, if you have a fresh bag, you're not going to have those issues, because it's going to be soft. And I think there is something that you can put in them to soften them, and I'm to soften the clay, and I might already have it. I just don't know where it's at. And then this also came on the same mold, and then these little rose corners right here were on that same mold. And I just did these today, and they're still not dry. But normally when you want to add them to a project, you should do it right away. You don't have to wait till your clay dries to add them to your project, because if you wait till it dries, then you can't bend it or shape it. It won't conform to the shape that you want. So you need some type of not UV, like a PV glue. And I'm going to link one in the description that I ordered. I don't have it yet, but it is used a lot for people by people who make all kinds of ornaments with clay. So I'm going to try it out. But what I use for these right here is this Loctite Power Grab, and it worked really good. And it looks like regular glue that we use. It looks like a white glue, but it does dry clear. And this worked better than the Quick Grip. I tried this first, and it was taking a long time to dry. And then I went ahead and opened this one and thought, let me try this one. And I was surprised that it looks like regular glue that we use for paper crafting. And this worked better. It did grip better, and I didn't have to hold it as long, because if it doesn't grip, and this starts to dry, the clay starts to dry, it kind of wants to straighten back up. So you need something that's going to grab and it's going to stay and it's going to dry exactly the way that you shaped it. So that's what one of the main things. But I'm going to list the one that I just picked up, and it is by Pen Art, and I don't have it here yet, but that's it's made for clay. So anyway, guys, this is what I created. I hope that you like what I created. This is for a swap that I have going on, and we had to make an ornament, and because these were small, these only measure, I think it's 2¼ inch. Yeah, they only measure 2¼ inch, so they're not very big. So I think I'm gonna make the recipient a set of 3. That way she can spread it out on her tree or something like that. And I think that they're beautiful. Thank you so much for watching. I hope everyone is having a great day, and I hope that this inspires you, and gives you ideas. And don't be afraid to try something new. What's the worst thing that can happen? If you ruin the frame, you can repaint it. If your clay breaks, you can throw that piece away and do it again. That's how we learn, by trying different things. I hope everyone is having a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.